Hello there, ladies and gentlemen of the WWE Universe. So today I'm gonna do a different type of video than what I usually do. Instead of all those attitudes, I decided that today, on this July 5th day, I'm gonna just show off all my wrestling figures. And I'm gonna show them in alphabetical order. So first, we got former 205 Live commentator, Aiden English. Also, I'm gonna make this quick, because I have like a bunch of these. So I'm gonna give a brief explanation of who they are. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So my first figure I got on the list, Aiden English, a former 205 Live commentator and former tag team of the Vaudevillains. Next, I got the phenomenal AJ Styles, current Intercontinental Champion, and the phenomenal one, of course, two-time WWE Champion, held the WWE Champion one time for 371 days. Next next wrestler I got is Alberto Del Rio, former WWE Superstar, former two-time United States Champion, and former two-time WWE Champion. He left WWE in 2016 after getting suspended. The next wrestler that I got is Alex Riley. Say it to my face. She's a pretty retro wrestler. He was last in WWE in 2016, but he's probably best known for his time with The Miz when he was his apprentice, as The Miz will call it. The next figure I got is the Goddess, the former Women's Tag Team Champion, three-time Raw Women's Champion, and two-time SmackDown Women's Champion. First woman to hold both Raw and SmackDown Women's Champions. It's Alexa Bliss. The next wrestler I got is the Animal, future Hall of Famer Batista. And once a member of Evolution, he returned 2014 and then returned again in 2019 where he lost to Triple H, and that's where Triple H ended his career. The next wrestler I got is the Role Model. Well, this figure was her when she was the Hugger. So back when she was a face Bailey, as we all know, she's now a heel. And right now she's the current SmackDown Women's Champion and current Women's Tag Team Champion along with Sasha Banks. The next figure I got is the Big Show. Oh, he's a tall one. Kind of trying to get him in the frame, but yeah. So next wrestler I got is the Big Show. So he's a former United States Champion. Basically, to summarize it, he's a Grand Slam champion. He's won all the champions. The next wrestler I got is another big one, Braun Strowman, the Monster Among Men. He was the former Intercontinental Champion, and now he's the current Universal Champion. Once a member of the Wyatt family, but now he's all on his own. The next wrestler I got is Bray Wyatt, back when he was a cult leader. So this is not him when, this is a retro Bray Wyatt. I don't have the current one where he's the Fiend. So yeah, this is the Eater of Worlds. The next wrestler I got is the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, as Paul Heyman would like to say. So this is just one of the two Brock Lesnar figures I have. The next one I have is this one over here. I got this one first. As you can see, there's a bit scratches on him. So this one has a shirt on, and the other Brock Lesnar, he does not have a shirt on. The next wrestler I got is, anybody remember who this is? Brodus Clay, a former member of Tons of Funk. If anybody even remembers who that team is anymore. Yeah, he left WWE in 2014, so he's kind of retro. The next wrestler I got is Cesaro. Right now he's currently in a tag team with Shinsuke Nakamura, but he's also a former five-time Raw Tag Team Champion and a former United States Champion. The next figure I got is Chris Jericho, who's now in All Elite Wrestling, AEW. He was known as Le Champion before he lost his champion to Jon Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose in WWE. The next figure I got is Christian, who recently got destroyed by Randy Orton on an episode of Raw after he tried standing up for his friend Edge. So yeah, I got Christian, a very underrated superstar in my opinion. The next wrestler I got is the best in the world, not Shane McMahon, CM Punk. Yeah, CM Punk, he's the next figure I got. This is one of two figures I've got him, because the next figure, the other model of CM Punk I have is this one right here, where his tattoos, they're in color. I got this one from my cousin. The first CM Punk, I believe I got it from I don't even think I got it for Christmas. I just think I just randomly bought it at the store. So yeah, this is the other CM Punk figure I got. Recently a member of the WWE Backstage show. The next figure I got is one of the founders of AEW, Cody Rhodes. He was formerly, when he was last in WWE, he was known as Stardust. And he's a former Intercontinental Champion. The next figure I got is Curtis Axel, who was recently let go from the WWE. He had been in a team with Bo Dallas. And before his team with Bo Dallas, he was with the Miz Taraj, along with the Miz and Maurice. After Curtis Axel, the next figure I got is Damien Sandow. Anybody who remember he is? He left WWE in 2016, but he was a very underrated performer. He could pull off any gimmick, but yeah, he was one of the very underrated ones. After Damien Sandow, the next figure I got is Daniel Bryan, who's right now he's being managed by Drew Gulak. I believe he calls Drew Gulak his training partner or his training coach. Most likely his training coach. So yeah, I got Daniel Bryan, and this is a retro figure. This is Daniel Bryan from like 2010 or 2011. As you can see, he does not even have the beard yet. After Daniel Bryan, the next figure I got is Darren Young, one of the original members of the Nexus. And then after the Nexus, he was in a team with Titus O'Neil for quite a while. He left WWE in 2017 after a failed experiment with Bob Backlund to make him great again. Yeah, that's just sad truth. The next wrestler I got is now a member of AEW, Dash Wilder. Well, now he's known as Cash Wheeler. That's quite a name. Yeah, he's now a member of AEW, but before that, he was along with Scott Dawson. I believe they were the first tag team to hold the NXT, the Raw, and the SmackDown tag team champions. The next figure I got is another original member of the Nexus, David Otunga. And then after that, I believe he was assistant to John Laurinaitis for a little bit. And then after that, he was a commentator, and now he's not really a commentator anymore. He's now he occasionally shows on the pre-show, but there hasn't really been a pre-show in a while, cause COVID. The next figure I got is the current AEW World Champion, known as Jon Moxley. Although this is clearly a figure during his time with WWE as Dean Ambrose, after he broke up with the Shield. And speaking of the Shield, the next figure I got happens to be Dean Ambrose during his time with the Shield. And during his time with the Shield, he has the longest reign with the United States Champion under the WWE banner, because reigns longer were with the WCW banner. At 351 days, by the way. The next figure I got is the show-off Dolph Ziggler, who recently traded to Raw after being involved with Otis and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. So yeah, he has a fresh start on Raw now, and he's feuding with Drew McIntyre. Pretty underrated. I'm surprised he's never won the WWE Champion. He deserves to win already. He's been with the WWE for like 12 years now, so he deserves to win the WWE Champion. The next figure I got is the current WWE Champion, the Scottish Psychopath, Drew McIntyre. Although, as we can clearly see, this is a retro figure of him. This is him from like 2011, 2010, during his time when he was called the Chosen One by Vince McMahon. The next figure I got is the Rated R Superstar, as Tony Chimel would say, Edge, who recently returned. Well, not recently anymore. It's been like half a year now. Time passes by fast. It's already been almost half a year. Yeah, so he returned earlier this year at the Royal Rumble after 9 years away from the ring. And he recently had the greatest match ever with Randy Orton. Well, at least that's how WWE put it. The greatest wrestling match ever. I do gotta say, it was one of the greatest matches, but probably not the greatest, but it is one of the greatest. So yeah, that's Edge to you guys. The next figure I got is, ladies and gentlemen, Elias, who would like to have your attention right now as he plays a concert. Just kidding. But right now he's injured. But yeah, that's Elias right there. The next figure I got is a guy who was let go by WWE in April after COVID-19 firings. It was Erick Rowan, so last time he was in WWE, he was walking around with a cage, which turned out to be just some spider. He probably bought it from like Party City or something. But yeah, that's Erick Rowan right there. Although I hear rumors he might come back. Although I don't know. Those are just rumors. The next figure I got is, well, to be honest, guys, I'm not really entirely sure who this is. I'm almost I'm assuming it's Evan Bourne, but this is the only figure I have where I'm not entirely sure who it is, because I bought it off of a yard sale at a swap meet. So yeah, I believe this is Evan Bourne. For those of you who don't know who Evan Bourne is, he left WWE in 2014, but he was in a tag team with Kofi Kingston, where he was a former tag team champion. After Evan Bourne, the next figure I got is Fandango. Yeah, Fandango, currently in a tag team with Tyler Breeze down in NXT. Both Fandango and Tyler Breeze are back in NXT after they had been on SmackDown as the Fashion Police. Very funny group, I like them. After Fandango, the next wrestler I got happens to be the extraordinary man who can do extraordinary things, as Corey Graves and Michael Cole would occasionally point out during his time on Raw. Finn Balor, former Intercontinental Champion, former first ever Universal Champion, and before Adam Cole broke his reign, he was the longest NXT Champion, in case you haven't heard Mauro Ronaldo say that already over the times in NXT. After Finn Balor, the next figure I got is the one, the only, WCW's greatest star, Goldberg, who defeated Brock Lesnar 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, at Survivor Series 2016 in only a minute 26, 86 seconds. And he was recently he's the former Universal Champion. The next figure I got is, of course I had to have it, Hornswoggle, former anonymous general manager of Raw. Last time I saw him, I believe, was at Royal Rumble 2019, where he chased Zelina Vega out of the ring and back to the backstage area. So yeah, that's Hornswoggle to you guys. The next figure I got after Hornswoggle is the legend, the guy who defeated AJ Styles 3 times on SmackDown in 2016, the one, the only, James Ellsworth. Pay attention to that shirt. Look at that shirt. If you haven't bought it on WWE Shop already, go buy it on WWE Shop. Really isn't that cheap, guys. Come on, support James Ellsworth. So yeah, James Ellsworth, he was one of the funniest guys in WWE recently. After James Ellsworth, next I got is Kurt Angle's illegitimate son, his kayfabe son, Jason Jordan, who hasn't wrestled in like 2 years now. Hope he's doing okay. After Jason Jordan, the next figure I got is the junkie. Nah, just kidding. I ain't Sheamus. It's the one, the only, the charismatic enigma, former 4-time Intercontinental Champion, former WWE Champion. He should be WWE Champion again. Hopefully we get that. I heard rumors that if it hadn't been Braun who beat Goldberg at WrestleMania 36, then it should have been Jeff Hardy. I mean, I would have been down for that. I think I would have preferred Jeff over Braun. But still, one of the most entertaining people in WWE, one of my favorite superstars is Jeff Hardy. After Jeff Hardy, the next superstar I got is the Maharaja, modern day Jinder Mahal, who surprisingly became WWE Champion back in 2017. After Jinder Mahal, the next superstar I got is, I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah, just kidding, John Cena. Probably the most famous, other than The Rock, probably the most famous wrestler to ever be in WWE. One of those most legendary, a for sure Hall of Famer. He's pretty much done it all, except win the Intercontinental Champion. And that's not the only figure of Cena I got. I also got this retro one of John Cena, except he has green shorts in this one. After John Cena, the next figure I got is Johnny Drip Drip, former SmackDown Tag Team Champion, along with The Miz, John Morrison. Well, this was one of my oldest figures, because as you can see, the arm is one of his arms is kind of missing. So yeah, that's pretty much John Morrison. Not pretty much, that is John Morrison. After John Morrison, the next figure I got is, anybody remember who this is? Justin Gabriel. He was the, fun fact in case you don't know, he was the guy who was Adam Rose's bunny, because he revealed that after his time when he left WWE. He was also one of the original members of the Nexus and was a tag team champion with Heath Slater, who's got kids, but unfortunately got fired, so I don't see how Heath Slater can feed the kids now. Hopefully he can get a job soon again. So yeah, oops, sorry Justin. The next figure I got after Justin Gabriel is the Big Red Machine, Kane. He was the WWE champion for only a day back in 1998. And, well, at least he's been the world champion. He doesn't really fit in the frame, but because he's pretty tall, you know. So yeah, that's Kane, the Big Red Machine. The next figure I got after Kane, it's Fight Owens Fight, Kevin Owens. In my opinion, the best Universal Champion to this day. The work he and Chris Jericho did back in 2016 was one of the most finest. Sucks that they broke up, and well, yeah, that was depressing. But yeah, he's also a former 3-time U.S. champion and a former 2-time Intercontinental champion. After Kevin Owens, the next figure I got is a member of the New Day. The New Day's been together for almost 6 years now. The New Day holds the record for the longest tag team that's been together without a breakup. So yeah, they've been together continuously since 2014 without a breakup. And Kofi, he also has the most combined days for the Raw Tag Team Champion. The next figure I got is the Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, who was a Raw general manager 2 years ago. And he's a he's a Grand Slam champion, so he's pretty much won it all. And I hope they hire him back soon, because Kurt was one of those guys who was fired during the pandemic. So yeah, after Kurt, the next figure I got is the guy who's known in AEW now as Brody Lee, Luke Harper. He got fired. Well, he didn't get fired. He got released. Like he wanted to get released because he didn't want to be in WWE anymore. But other than his time with the Wyatt family, he's also a former Intercontinental champion. After Luke Harper, the next figure I got is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, who's currently a producer for WWE. He's also a former World Heavyweight Champion, but he's never been the WWE Champion. Fun fact. After Mark Henry, the next figure I got is another guy who's now in AEW, broken Matt Hardy. But as you can see, clearly he is not broken. This is a retro figure of him back when he was I believe this is him from 2010. Probably maybe the mid 2000s. But yeah, that's Matt Hardy. After Matt Hardy, the next figure I got is, surprisingly, I got this one from my cousin. This is Michael Cole, current commentator for SmackDown. And then before SmackDown, he was a longtime commentator for Raw. And he was a pretty cocky heel back in 2011, in case anybody remembers. After Michael Cole, the next figure I got is Montavious Porter, MVP. So I don't think they've made any new figures of MVP since his return to the WWE. But yeah, this is MVP right here, who's currently managing Bobby Lashley. After MVP, the next figure I got is the Irresistible Force, another woman's figure I got, Nia Jax, who I hear well, I don't want to spread rumors about her because I'm not about spreading negativity, but I hear that she might have ended Kairi Sane's career. Just kidding, that's just a rumor. I hear Kairi's leaving on her own terms though. But yeah, former Raw Women's Champion. But let's see what Nia Jax will do next, if you know what I mean. After Nia Jax, the next figure I got is R-Truth, current 24/7 champion, 37-time 24/7 champion, and a former 2-time USA champion. In case there's a fact that I don't think many people know, he was also a former United States champion. So yeah, that's R-Truth. After R-Truth, the next figure I got is Mr. RKO, Randy Orton. If he squishes legs, he can do this. So yeah, he's also done it all. Former USA champion, former Intercontinental champion, and a former, he's been WWE champion 9 times, I believe. I think he's had 9 reigns with it. And he's also held the world champion, the world heavyweight one, I think it's either 3 or 4 times. I'm not really sure. But that's Randy Orton. After Randy Orton, the next figure I got is Mr. 619, the guy who Seth Rollins sacrificed 2 months ago on Raw when Becky Lynch announced her pregnancy. It was on the same night, fun fact. But yeah, this is the guy Seth Rollins sacrificed, and I hope his son Dominic makes it big in the business. After Rey Mysterio, the next figure I got is the Nature Boy, the father of Charlotte Flair, Ric Flair. That is this is one of the most legendary guys in WWE. He's a 2-time Hall of Famer, and he's the 16-time world champion, tied with John Cena. After Ric Flair, the next figure I got is Robert Roode. This is a retro figure of him. This is him during his time. If you're wondering why it looks like this, it's because this is him during his time with TNA, back when Impact was called TNA. So I'm not sure what year it is. Probably from the mid 2000s. So that's a retro figure of Robert Roode. Unfortunately, I don't have a current version of his character. So after next, I have Roman Reigns, who's on hiatus right now due to COVID-19. I miss him. Hope he comes back soon. So yeah, that's Roman Reigns too. The next figure I got is during his time with the Shield, a Roman Reigns. So yeah, he's also Grand Slam champion. He's pretty much done it all. After Roman Reigns, the next figure I got is former member, leader of the Riot Squad, Ruby Riott. You know, I hope to get Liv Morgan soon. I also want a figure of her. And well, Sarah Logan, she's also cool, but not as cool as Liv. But speaking about Ruby, well, I don't really got much to say. Recently, she's been just on a losing streak. Hope she gets out of it though. The next figure I got is Ryback. Anybody remember who Ryback is? You better remember who Ryback is. Another one of the original members of the Nexus when he was known as Skip Sheffield. After Ryback, the next figure I got is Joe, current Raw commentator. Pretty dang good one, gotta say. And he's a former two-time United States champion, but I hope to see him win a world title one day. After Samoa Joe, the next figure I got is also one of the funniest guys in WWE back in the day, Santino Marella, who he comes with a cobra. So yeah, that's Santino Marella. After Santino Marella, the next figure I got is the boss, the blueprint of SmackDown, the standard, Sasha Banks, former four-time Raw Women's Champion, former Women's Tag Team Champion, former NXT Champion, but never the SmackDown Women's Champion. Bayley, I think you might want to watch her back. To keep teasing, like, man, when is Sasha finally going to turn on her? If it's going to happen. But maybe one day it's finally going to happen. And when it happens, the world's going to be happy. After Sasha Banks, the next figure I got is another guy who went to AEW, Scott Dawson, now known as Dax Harwood, along with his partner Cash Wheeler, as they're now known as FTR. So yeah, that's Scott Dawson. After Scott Dawson, the next figure I got is oops, one of my figures dropped. The next figure I got is Seth Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah, who's leading Buddy Murphy and Austin Theory right now. So yeah, he's the Monday Night Messiah, and he's pretty much done it all. Former two-time Universal Champion, former two-time Intercontinental Champion, and former USA Champion. Yeah, you know the rest. After Seth Rollins, the next figure I got is a Shield attire Seth Rollins. During his time with the Shield, he was a one-time tag team champion with Roman Reigns. He sold more, but that was out of the time with the Shield. After Seth Rollins, the next figure I got is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Another very legendary superstar. Probably one of the best to ever done it. One of the best to ever lace up the boots in WWE. After Shawn, the next figure I got is the son of the boss, Shane McMahon. The other guy who calls himself the best in the world. Like, if it ain't gonna be CM Punk, then I guess it's gotta be Shane McMahon. Yeah, so this right here is a figure of Shane. After Shane McMahon, the next figure I got is the guy who's right now in a feud with Jeff Hardy, calling him a junkie, basically getting jealous of all the success, as I see. Sheamus, he's not a Grand Slam champion. He's still to win the Intercontinental Champion. After Sheamus, the next wrestler I got is the artist, Nakamura's son, Shinsuke Nakamura. By the way, for those of you who don't know, Nakamura's son is Japanese for Mr. Nakamura. And that's what Sami Zayn calls him. He's a former Intercontinental Champion. He's had one of the top 20 longest reigns with it, 201 days. And former two-time USA, if I didn't mention that already. And a former NXT Champion. After Nakamura, the next wrestler that I got is Shorty G, as he's now known as, formerly known as Chad Gable, Shorty G. And fun fact, well, you guys probably noticed, he's also held all of the tag team champions, NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. So yeah, but he only held he didn't win the Raw one with Jason Jordan, who was his longtime partner. He won the Raw one with Robert Roode, back when he was called Bobby Roode. After that, the next figure I got is Sin Cara. I don't know what to say about Sin Cara. He's pretty much jobber for his time in WWE. The only thing I could say is he won the NXT Tag Team Challenge with Kalisto. After Sin Cara, the next figure I got is Stone Cold, as JR would say. Stone Cold. Another one of the most legendary guys in WWE, the Rattlesnake. Former WWE champion, former Intercontinental champion, and a Hall of Famer. After Stone Cold, the next figure I got is Tenzai. Anyone remembers who this guy is? He was known as A-Train back in like the 2000s, but then he came back with a failed character in like 2012, and then he was in Tons of Funk, and after that he was never seen again. After Tenzai, the next figure I got is the Great Khali. Definitely cannot really fit in the frame. I know I'm gonna put him this way. You know, you can see the whole figure like that. But yeah, this is Great Khali. My friend Johnny's a huge fan of him. Well, maybe not a huge fan of him, but definitely likes making memes about him. But yeah, this is the Great Khali, a former world champion. That's pretty much what I can say. After the Great Khali, the next figure I got is another one of my favorite guys in the WWE, The Miz. He's been in the WWE since 2007, so he's one of the longest tenured wrestlers. And he's a Grand Slam champion as well. After The Miz, the next figure I got is Dwayne The Rock Johnson, the most famous wrestler, one of the most famous actors. I heard he is the most paid actor. So yeah, The Rock, one of the most charismatic. He's like if you smell what The Rock is cooking. After The Rock, the next figure I got is another version of The Rock, except this Rock, he has an underwear, whereas the other one had pants on. After The Rock, the next figure I got is Titus O'Neil, Mr. Worldwide. I wonder whatever happened to him. Titus, I only saw him once on Raw this year, where he lost like Bobby Lashley in a gauntlet match. But he's a former tag team champion, and he slid at the Greatest Royal Rumble in 2018. After Titus O'Neil, the next wrestler I got is time to play the game. The leader of NXT. Well, if it's not William Regal, then it's Triple H. Another one, a Hall of Famer, along with he entered the Hall of Fame as a member of D-Generation X, but he's still to enter by himself. So it's inevitable. It's gonna happen eventually. But one of the most legendary guys. After Triple H, the next figure I got is now known in AEW as Shawn Spears, but this is him during his time in WWE as Ty Dillinger, the boyfriend of Peyton Royce. I don't know. I think that's the only career thing I could name of him. Like, other than that, what else did Ty accomplish in WWE? He was wasted on SmackDown, unfortunately, no matter why he moved to AEW. So, after Ty Dillinger, aka Shawn Spears, the next figure I got is Undertaker. What can I say about Undertaker? Probably the greatest, arguably the greatest superstar in WWE to ever be in it. Recently retired. I hope he enjoys his retirement life. Although, never say never. He could probably return for another match because he's the Undertaker. After the Undertaker, the next figure I got is the guy who's responsible for all this, Vince McMahon. Without Vince, I might be an unknown person in this world. Without Vince, we will not be entertained. Without Vince, like, people are known to really roast Vince, but think about it. Like, without Vince and his father, like, Vince is the reason why the WWE is as big as it is today. After Mr. McMahon, the next figure I got is the leader of the Nexus, the original Nexus, Wade Barrett. As you can see, he's representing the Nexus with the N band right there. So yeah, that's Wade Barrett, a former 5-time Intercontinental Champion as well. The next figure I got is Xavier Woods. Before he was in the New Day, this is a retro figure of him. So yeah, he's been with the New Day for the past 6 years, and I think if it wasn't for the New Day, Xavier Woods might not have a job. So I think the New Day kind of saved Xavier's career. After Xavier Woods, the next figure I got is a guy who was released in April, Zack Ryder. Damn, it sucks. He only needed the WWE champion to be a Grand Slam, but I mean, he only held the Intercontinental champion for a day, so that's a shame. He might go to AEW next. Who knows? I've been hearing rumors that Zack Ryder, he might be AEW bound. After Zack Ryder, the next figure I got is this isn't even a wrestler anymore. Anybody remember who this guy is? This guy is the former manager of Jack Swagger, Zeb Coulter, who Jack Swagger, he's now known as Jake Hager in AEW. But yeah, that's Zeb Coulter. After Zeb Coulter, well, that's pretty much all the normal size figures I got. I have more figures, but they're a little different size. Like this is a mini. I have a mini version of Stone Cold Steve Austin right here, and then after Stone Cold, I then have these little I don't know what material this is made out of, but I got these models of AJ Styles right there. I also have a version of the Man Becky Lynch, the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion in history. Demon Finn Balor. I don't have a normal size version of Demon Finn Balor. The Boss Sasha Banks. And finally, after Sasha Banks, I also have the Man's Man Seth Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah. So other than after these little figures, the next figures I got are these other ones. I forgot what versions these were. But this is Alberto Del Rio right here. After Alberto Del Rio, I also got Big Show. Along with Big Show, I got Christian. And after Christian, I have John Cena. After John Cena, I also have a Kane. Back when he was just pants. And then after Kane, I have Mason Ryan. In case you don't know who Mason Ryan is, he was a member of the New Nexus as led by CM Punk. But other than that, I don't know what else to say about Mason. He really wasn't, I don't know, fake Batista? That's the only thing I can say. So after these guys, I also have this version of Brock Lesnar, which he came from a birthday cake. Also coming from that same birthday cake is John Cena. So yeah, I got Brock and John over here. And finally, the last two figures I got are these versions of Brie Bella and the Icon Sting. So yeah, that's pretty much all my figures. Oof. Hope I didn't take too long explaining them. I mean, I got a lot, so I tried to go through them all as fast as I can. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tried doing something different. I always want to do a video like this, show off all my wrestlers collections. These are all the wrestlers I've collected within the past I think I can say within the past decade, because I mean, my brother, my older brother, he got some wrestler figures back in like 2010, and then he lended them to me. So the oldest of my figures probably originated from the year 2010. So like, you know, back when I was 6, 10 years later, I'm now 16 now. I've just revealed my age. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. Tune in to the next video, and thank you very much for all the subscribers I got, and I love you all. No homo to the fellas. And yeah, so tune in to the next one. Laters, guys.